Hello and welcome to Math Lessons with Linda. Today's topic is one of the conic sections, circles, and we are going to begin by talking about the general form for two different variations for a circle. The first one is x squared plus y squared equals r squared. In this form for circles, if it's just the x squared and the y squared by themselves, that tells you that the center of the circle is at 0, 0. And this r squared, r represents the radius. And in the formula, the r will be squared. There's a different variation of a circle, which looks like this. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So you can tell the difference is this h and k have been introduced. And what that tells you is that the origin is no longer the center of your circle. It's been shifted. So now the center is going to be these values, h and k. R is still represented as the radius, and in the formula, the r is squared. So if you have graph paper, we're going to do a couple of quick sketches with these problems today. If not, you can make your own graph and it'll work out fine. So the first one we're going to look at is x squared plus y squared equals 25. This looks like the first variation of the formula that we just saw previously. And I can tell that the center of my circle is at the origin. There is no value added or subtracted to the x or the y. And this 25, remember, is the r squared. Now, if I want to graph the circle, I don't need the r squared. I just need the radius r by itself. So what I'm going to do is take the square root of 25, and then that'll just be the r. So the square root of 25 is 5. So now on my graph, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my center of my circle first. So right here. And from there, I'm going to go out 5 spaces. And the easiest way to do that is to go either vertically or horizontally. And then I'm going to sketch my circle. So I'm going to go 5 up. I'm going to go 5 to the right. 5 down, and 5 to the left. And I can tell that if I, I dot it in, I can kind of get my circle to look like a circle. So this is how I would graph this equation. Here's my center at 0, 0. My radius is 5. So, any radius that I draw in, now I can do the ones that are kind of the diagonals. Like this should also be 5 because I have the sketch in there. So that one's pretty straightforward to do. So let's take a look at what an equation would be if we have the second scenario where we shift around what the center is. So I've got x minus 3 squared plus y minus 5 squared equals 49. So I can definitely tell that things are moved around. So remember that we are looking for what these values are in our parentheses. Now, something to note, the subtraction sign is part of the formula. So when I am pulling out my h and my k, if these are both negatives, I'm just taking the number itself because the minus stays as part of the formula. So in this case, my h is 3 and my k is 5. Because if I needed to put them back in, it would be x minus this number 3 or y minus this number 5. If I pulled out the negative with it, then I'd have like x minus a negative 3 later. It would not work out with the signs. I also need my radius. So I'm going to take the square root of my r squared, which is 49, and that is 7. So now I'm going to sketch what this looks like. So I'm gonna move my center to 3, 5. So I'm gonna go over here, 1, 2, 3, and then up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here is my center. Now my radius is 7 spaces from the center. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This was already 5, so now I'm just gonna go 7, which is 2 more down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to the left, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to the right. This is a larger circle, and it's shifted over. So now when I draw it in, I'm gonna roughly, sketch it like this. So now here is my circle moved over into the first quadrant for the center, and I have my radius as 7. So these are a couple of examples of introductory conic sections with circles and how you can find the center and the radius and sketch their graph.